Coming up on Hawk TV,
we take a look into Hebron Reads,
the new literary magazine,
and football's last game of the season.
Good morning, Hebron High School. I'm Kim Cow.
And I'm Brian Franklin. An English teacher was inspired through social media to promote reading. Courtney Foster gives us the story.
The head of the English department, Donna Friend, is an active Twitter user. She came across a tweet about Little Free Library, which is a worldwide program that encourages a policy, take a book, return a book.
So I retweeted it and just said, hey, what if we did this in the hallways? The next thing I know, I have math teachers, science teachers, computer teachers, history teachers, English teachers, the whole building, even foreign language responded and said, hey, this is cool, we should do this. And so that's where the idea started.
Teachers involved in Hebron Reads strive to introduce the new program, which will allow students to express themselves.
As an English teacher, of course, I love stories and I love literature, and I think that kids that read books that really speak to them can find themselves in the books, and sometimes that helps them make choices by experiencing it through a character, then experiencing it through themselves, and then they can, decide that that's not a good situation they don't want to get themselves into. But most of all, I just want kids to fall in love with story and kids to fall in love with character, because I've found that to be so important in my life.
Hebron Reads is active on Twitter and known throughout the community. Its book donation has grown and will continue to increase.
Mr. Legale came up to me and Mr. Thompson from the theater department, and they said, we'll build the first boxes for you. And I said, what? I'm sorry, what? Are you kidding? And they said, no, really, we're really going to do this. And other teachers came up and said, I'm going to donate books. And other teachers said, I'm not only going to donate books, I'm going to write a note on the inside that says, dear reader, here's why this book rocks. So it sort of snowballed.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Courtney Foster. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Courtney. Last year, the journalism department expanded from 3 publications to 4 after creating a literary magazine. Brian Franklin takes a closer look.
At the end of the 2012-2013 school year, 2 students helped establish the accipiter when newspaper advisor Brian Shelton presented them with the idea.
I was just starting last year to teach creative writing, and so my idea as part of that class was to have the Lit Mag sort of be part of creative writing. I mentioned that to those 2 girls, and they thought that the idea sounded cool. I showed them some examples of Lit Mags, and they liked it, and they wanted to be a part of it.
I was excited to kind of be the starter of a new magazine, but I was excited to venture out and try something new and kind of get out of that environment and see what it'd be like to do something different.
The staff's plan was to put out the first magazine at the end of last year, but due to a lack of submissions, the release was pushed back a year.
But at some point during the year, it was probably early spring, we looked at all the entries that we had that we thought were good enough to publish, and we were looking at maybe like a 20, 30-page pamphlet at that point, and it just didn't seem worth trying to print something before we felt we were ready.
So it was really upsetting to see this new venture that we started out that almost failed. But thankfully this year we got a lot more, especially in the fall, since it's not even over and we're almost more than halfway done with the book. So now it's looking a lot better.
This year the magazine is on track to be published in the spring.
So I kind of wasn't hopeful at all in the beginning of this year in whether or not we would get more submissions, but now that we've gotten a lot, it's looking optimistic, and we are set on publishing the book.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Brian Franklin. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Brian. We'll be right back.
This is a private transmission from the Hawkeye.
Print is dead.
Welcome back. Tonight is football's last game of the season. Let's send it over to Spencer Rojas with sports.
Thanks, Kim. The football team beat Plano East last Friday night 20-17 to improve their record to 2-7. We send it over to Reese Woodhill with the story.
After its second win against Plano East, the football team is preparing for a 6-3 McKinney-Boyd team.
We're going to go study film, we're going to go have a good week of practice. It's our last week of practice, so we're going to have a lot of motivation.
They're a good football team. They've already clinched a playoff spot. We just have to look at the film. Our kids will come ready to play. They know it's their last home game. Those senior guys are excited about the chance to get out and play there. Really, all the kids, this is the last game of the year. The underclassmen are going to want to build on that going into the offseason.
After a season plagued with injury and hardship, tonight will not only be the last game of the season, but the last game many will play in a Hebron uniform.
A lot of times you play your last game of the year, but you're going to the playoffs after that. But knowing this is it, I think it might be a little emotional for some of the kids, and I think they'll be excited about it. We haven't won a home game yet this year, and we'd love to have the fans come out, go crazy, have a great time, and be rowdy, and give us a chance to go out and make the woodshed what it has been, and make the woodshed this Friday night.
Don't miss the football team take on McKinney-Boyd tonight at 7 p.m. at Hawk Stadium. Reporting for Hawk Sports, I'm Reese Woodhill. Now back to the press box.
Thanks, Reese. The volleyball district rankings came down to the last game of the season. After its loss to McKinney-Boyd, Hebron finished third. Now to Reese Woodhill with the story.
The volleyball team played a very dominant regular season. Despite having a 13-3 record in district, the team finished with third place.
We're just glad to get out of district. So I don't think, when you finish third, you play the tougher teams in this district like this one. You play the second place instead of a lower seed. So I don't know that third is going to benefit us. Well, that remains to be seen in the next two games.
Along with the start of playoffs comes an increase in roster spots, allowing the team to bring more players up to the varsity squad.
Bringing up our freshmen and sophomores definitely helps us build our program for future, and I think it gives us more options in case we need them down at playoffs.
Anytime you bring up new players to a team, it brings the energy, the excitement. Those kids have wide eyes and are excited to be up there, which just reiterates to the players who've been there that it's a fun thing.
Don't miss the volleyball team take on DeSoto tonight, starting at 7 p.m. at Arlington Lamar High School. Reporting for Hawk Sports, I'm Reese Woodhill. Now back to the press box.
Thanks, Reese. After a second place finish in district and regional, the cross-country team is preparing to run in state tomorrow morning in Round Rock. Now back to Reese with the story.
Go Hebron!
After a 6th place finish last year at the state meet, this year's cross-country team has set its goals high from day one.
Well, we've been practicing since the very first day that school got out last year, and to prepare for the state meet, we just think about it every single day, constantly. That's our goal, that's what we work for, and it's just, we always have reminders every day. We always say, have you thought about the state meet today? Because we want to, every day, that's what we're working for.
Well, the level of competition that we've been facing, we try to go to tough meets, run against the teams that we're trying to beat, work hard. We started practicing real early in the summer, so all those things combined, we hope will put us over the top.
After earning a trip to the state meet the past 2 years and failing to reach the medal stand, the team believes this year will be different.
Last year it was my first year, and I don't know, we had hopes of getting on the medal stand, but this year it's more of a reality. We know that we have the capability to fulfill our goal.
Well, I think we have a lot more experience. We have girls that have been on those teams, that have been there before. Confidence, I think this team has, believes that they can win. So I think that this is the right combination of things that hopefully will give us a chance to win.
After losing to Marcus by a slim margin at district and the region meet, the team is looking for a way to beat them.
We plan to beat Marcus from the very beginning, just getting out hard. We all have certain people from that team that we need to beat, and we know that if we just beat those people and we each do our job, that we will win.
Well, it's going to be tough. Marcus is the #1 ranked team in the state. They are extremely good. We just have to, from the beginning, get in front and beat them from the get-go.
Reporting for Hawk Sports, I'm Reese Woodhill. Now back to the press box.
Thanks, Reese. That's all for sports. I'm Spencer Rojas. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Spencer. After placing 4th in prelims, Ben took home 2nd place at state. That's it for today's broadcast. I'm Brian Franklin.
And I'm Kim Cow. Have a great rest of your day.